Grasping the rationale behind casinos imposing betting limits is foundational for understanding the inherent risks tied to strategies such as the martingale system. These limits serve primarily as a protective mechanism for casinos, shielding them from potentially substantial financial losses. In games like dice, the probability of winning hovers just below 50%. This slight imbalance allows casinos to uphold their profit margins over time. Even when players face odds that seem nearly even, the reality remains that they typically incur losses as time progresses. The efficacy of the martingale strategy is intimately linked to the player's ability to maintain a robust bankroll, as the strategy hinges on the ability to double bets following losses. Lacking sufficient capital may prevent players from enduring losses long enough to recuperate their finances. The speaker illustrates the martingale betting strategy through a manual demonstration, showcasing how the technique of doubling the bet after each loss could theoretically yield a profit, contingent upon having enough liquidity. It is a method deeply rooted in probability, aimed at curtailing potential losses. Additionally, the speaker underscores the necessity for players to comprehend the relationship between their maximum bet limits and their initial stake. This understanding is pivotal to evade financial devastation, as the video elaborates on calculating potential losses stemming from successive unfavorable outcomes. Following this, the video transitions into the realm of automating the betting process via programming. It discusses the interplay between software and APIs, which enables users to place bets programmatically, thereby potentially enhancing efficiency and minimizing the burdens of manual operations. In this segment, the focus shifts to the initialization of a Node.js project. The commentary highlights the versatility in selecting between JavaScript and TypeScript for coding purposes. Furthermore, it advocates the use of libraries like Axios to streamline the execution of HTTP requests. The video meticulously outlines the structural components of the code necessary for sending HTTP requests, including the importance of setting appropriate headers and managing payload data effectively. By demonstrating how to log backend responses, it emphasizes the vital nature of validation in this programming process. An innovative concept of an infinite loop is introduced, designed to perpetually send requests informed by preceding responses. This continuous feedback mechanism allows for dynamic adjustments to the betting amounts, optimizing the decision-making process inherent to the betting strategy. The code demonstrates the initialization of a betting amount, running a loop that adapts the bet according to outcomes from previous wagers. This aspect highlights a dynamic betting strategy that seeks to align itself with the results, echoing the fluid nature of gambling conditions. The narrator delves into the psychological dimensions of betting, articulating how losing streaks can prompt players to escalate their betting amounts significantly. This behavior invariably leads to heightened financial vulnerability, underscoring the necessity of careful management. Moreover, the video accentuates the critical importance of establishing limits. For example, the practice of ceasing play after encountering a specific number of consecutive losses serves to mitigate overarching financial risks over time, a strategy that is essential for sustainable gambling. Within this framework, the algorithm starts with a loss count of 0, resetting upon a win. However, should a player encounter excessive losses, an exit strategy is triggered. This dynamic clearly illustrates the inherent volatility present in gambling systems. The experiment contextually involved executing the gambling algorithm overnight, with the expectation of either gains or losses. This scenario vividly demonstrates the fundamental reliance on luck that permeates various gambling strategies. Interestingly, despite the odds suggesting low probabilities for consecutive losses, the strategy encountered failure in its practical application. This circumstance underscores how rare, yet impactful events can dramatically influence overall outcomes in the gambling landscape. Short-term gambling might indeed offer quick profits. However, it is crucial for players to recognize that their chances of experiencing losses increase with time. Thus, exercising caution and contemplating an early cash-out could significantly minimize potential risks. Furthermore, it is important to acknowledge that while gambling strategies may yield a series of small wins, they can lead to catastrophic losses. A solid understanding of the risks involved is crucial for anyone contemplating how much capital to wager. Ultimately, it is essential to recognize that casinos prosper on the backs of players who engage in prolonged gambling sessions. The longer the duration of play, the greater the likelihood of exhausting one's funds, which serves as a stark reminder of the inherent risks associated with gambling.